remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We're back with another Music Monday. On this Monday, man, y'all smash that like button. Sub up to the channel if you're new, and if you haven't done so already, of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and what I normally do is make content about sneakers, occasional trial hauls, and y'all know this is Music Monday. Normally, this would be the time that I introduce Dunks, but I'm assuming he's probably working on his Monday, pretty busy, but busy day for Dunks. But salute to Dunks. Should be back live again on Wednesday with another sold out live, another sold out podcast. I already see topics brewing in the sold out Discord. Shameless plug, by the way. So the sold out Discord is pinned at the top of the chat, and it is free to sign up. Y'all know we talk a little bit of everything over there, from mostly sneakers, but we definitely got a music section, food section, sports section. Speaking of that, after this live, pretty much, I'm going to be watching the game. Who y'all got? Boston or Mavericks, man? Keep in mind, all Boston got to do is win one more time, because they're up by 3, even though I know Dallas won last game on Friday, not mistaken, right? Okay, so pretty much series is 3-1, but I mean, it's for Boston's taking, right? But I know a lot of people low-key don't want to see Boston win. I got family members saying they don't want to see Boston win as well, so I can't really blame them on that, because I mean, but on the flip side, not to make this all about sports, but I don't know, man. Boston just looks a little bit more, they got a little bit more on top of things, if you ask the kid. But that's just me, right? And who am I? But who was to say that the Mavericks, Dallas can't battle back? But they're going to have to definitely keep switching some things up, because I feel like last game on Friday, they borderline just gave it to the Mavericks. And I'm going to just leave it at that. But a nice topic, man. Back on Music Monday, kind of got off mode. I know we've been kind of playing around whether we should do like a sports podcast as well. Slightly debating on bringing that in. But if I do, I'm probably not going to do it no time soon, to keep it 100. But tonight's topic says, is Rick Ross avoiding Freeway Rick Ross? Which I'm not going to go down the whole rabbit hole of that topic, but pretty much Rick Ross apparently, allegedly got his name from the actual Freeway Ricky Ross, which was the known drug dealer back in the day. And I know there was some lawsuit issues, and I think the rapper Rick Ross actually won those. It could have been a battle of the money or the persona, because I think that's what he was trying to sue him for, his persona, right? But on the flip side, and I got articles, as you know, as always, that I'm going to pull up here in just a second. There is Freeway, right, where his name is Freeway, but he doesn't go by Freeway Ricky Ross. He just goes by Freeway, which I believe also was, I think Freeway was actually the nickname of the real Rick Ross, right? But don't quote me on that. I'm going to read through some of this stuff. Apparently there's $1 million lawsuit out there, or somebody owes somebody $1 million still. So we're going to touch on that tonight. According to Freeway Ricky, he thinks that the real Rick Ross avoids him now. Who knows? I don't know, but we'll see why he thinks that, according to these articles. And then also we're going to touch on Chrisean Rock, arrested and jailed right now. I don't think she's made bond, or even been given one, right? And apparently she got locked up for just going to see Blueface, who is currently locked up, which I think, because he violated probation, if I remember, because we did cover that story a little bit too. If I'm not mistaken, I'm talking Blueface here, he should be probably eligible for release probably in July. You know what I'm saying? Because he violated probation, but I feel like in July, I think they were only going to jail him for and I'm saying only, because I'm pretty sure one day in jail feels like an eternity, even if you get used to the joint. And then Boosie and Bleu are back beefing at it again, so we're going to touch on those tonight, man. Should be just a nice, chill stream. Y'all know I'm only going to be on this joint for an hour, because y'all know I'm definitely going to be going to watch the Boston game. Not going, but actually just cutting on my TV. Pretty much just going over to the crib. Matter of fact, one quick little thing real quick I just wanted to check out before I even get on that. And then we'll go ahead and dive right in. I think I'm going to start right off with the Rick Ross and the Freeway Ricky situation, then transition to Chrisean Rock, and close out with Boosie and Bleu. Got a very interesting story how I even got introduced to Bleu. Not saying I wouldn't have discovered him, but all I know, not discover him as musically, but as finally being able to listen to his music and knowing about him, because usually I'm kind of late up on certain artists. Sometimes I'm ahead of my time too, but this one I got a unique story with that one, so we'll touch on that tonight. So anyway, let's talk about this. Rick Ross is accused of ducking Freeway Rick Ross Anytime I'm around, he disappears. So I'm going to share my screen up on the article real quick. Y'all definitely smash that like button as y'all come in and out, and do not hesitate to be active in the chat because y'all know I don't mind that as well. But I'm going to share my screen for the first topic, just checking to see if dunks came in. And looks like no, so we're gonna go ahead here. Boom, sharing my screen for the first nice topic. Rick Ross accused of ducking Freeway. Rick Ross, anytime I'm around, he's disappearing, is what this topic says. So I definitely want to see what this is about, because my thing is this: if you won the lawsuit, why would you? And the thing is, the Freeway Ricky Ross, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, neither one of these guys are necessarily young bucks anymore, and I don't mean nobody is still not dangerous, but I mean, like, I've noticed as I've been getting older, and I think this is just common as we get older. You just tend to, like, how you were, I'll speak for myself, how I was rowdy back in the day, and I was very chill back then, but how I was quick to be like, ain't nobody finna try nothing. I'm more so common now to definitely walk away from, like, situations now. If I can, I'm like, yo, walk away. And that's just how I feel about it. So, we will see what this article is talking about for sure. Let me see what it says right here. It says, Rick Ross has been accused of ducking his namesake Freeway Rick Ross, which I think Rick Ross is his real name and Freeway had to be his street name back then. Looked like we just had Slayer pop up in the building. What up, Slayer? Y'all smash that like button and sub up, man. I'm pretty sure you probably already are at this point, but definitely smash that like button as y'all come in and out. Says, Rick Ross, according to the former gangster, says appearing on the Joe Rogan Experience, Freeway, who operated as a drug lord in the 1980s before his arrest in 1994, outlined his issues with the Miami rapper who controversially took his name as his moniker. But I mean, this is the thing, you can name yourself the same. The thing is, long as you're not, I think where the courts probably ultimately decided this is where it's like, yo, you were a drug lord, he's doing music. Not saying that's right, and I know Rick Ross also raps about, quote unquote, hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Maybe there was some inspiration behind there, but at the same time, it's like, he's also not rapping about homie's life either. So I mean, like, he's rapping off of stuff that he allegedly claims that he did, but even though we found out he was a correction officer, but he said he did it for other reasons or whatever. I followed that way too long, probably for no reason. But I'm not gonna pray too much. I'm not even gonna play probably the interview, because I know that Joe Rogan is one of the top dog like podcasters. I know they'll flag this one, you know, but I think it's okay to just talk about it, and I'll just leave it at that. Let me read through the rest of the article real quick, and then we'll keep it moving. It says, every time I'm around, he disappears. He claimed these guys, when you got money, they don't care if you beating women or making them lick tampons. Everybody F with you. And that's not a good segue, Mr. Ross. And I'm talking Freeway here. It says, he was on top of the world at one time. He was a correctional officer, but when he got some money, they forgot he was a correctional officer. You got gangsters doing records with him. People will say they hate snitches, but they doing records with a police officer. I mean, was he really a real police officer, though? Did he go to the police academy and become like a police officer, or was he just low-key and I'm not trying to downplay the job, a security guard? I thought he was just like a security guard, kind of one of those, like, you know what I'm saying? You do the job, but you're not like, when stuff really pop off, you're supposed to really alert the local police. Now, I know there's level to security as well, where they have private security guards where they make a lot of money to, you know, pretty much you're a bodyguard, you're not a police officer. You're usually an ex-cop or you've retired cop, but you're doing this, and then you know how to, alert the authorities. So I don't really want to say that I'm downplaying the job. I mean, hey, he's trying to make a living, you know? I'm gonna put it this way, and I'm not judging the people. I'm not judging is the word I'm looking for. I'm not judging the people who hustle or quote unquote kingpins or drug dealers, but I mean, I'm not saying all the greatest drug dealers have been caught, but a lot of the big ones that we've seen got caught. And I know they probably looking back saying they don't regret what they did, but it's obviously not a promising career, you know, and you could say that probably about rapping. But I feel like if you was to hustle right and remain super low key, you could probably do it for as long as you want to. I think what happened is one of those, the thing is, how should I put this? The local sellers, you know what I'm saying? If they do it right and don't draw attention to themselves, they can be all right. But it's like they making the minimum wage compared to the supplier. Usually, and if you can relate this to the Young Thug case, not saying he's dealing drugs, but I'm saying just in general for like a metaphorically speaking, like they usually want the big kingpin, to stop the little one, because the little one's only getting it from the big kingpin. If they can lock up the big kingpin, then it should slow it down. But to be honest, there's always somebody that's working right underneath the kingpin that keeps a super low profile from. If history repeats itself, it's always somebody low key working right next under the kingpin that knows that when and or if anything happens to the kingpin, you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. And that's why usually the cops and stuff usually don't find stuff really connected back to him. Like if we can think it back to El Chapo, right? El Chapo. Homie is one of, well known for what he does, but at the same time, they have yet to catch him in the act. All this, it's just like they know, but they literally didn't prove anything. Even though he was found guilty, but at the same time, definitely was no snitching. Homie spoke Spanish. Now I know what you're saying. Like, well, Jay, they can get a translator. I'm gonna put it this way, bro. Americanized Spanish compared to somebody who's born and raised and that's all they know. There's certain words, like I'll put it this way, and I hate to compare it to the Young Thug case. You see all the people that's getting up on the stand? They ask them like, "Hey, what does this mean? What does this slang mean? What does this mean? What does these gang signs mean?" I'm not gonna throw up any because I don't know any, allegedly. But this is my thing. They're asking because truly they don't know. I've seen them come in on the YNW Melly case and they bring in specialists and they're like, okay, this guy know what this and this, but we have yet to learn all of them because the people who were really diehard deep into like the true gang sign stuff and all the gang related stuff who were really deep in, they're not gonna talk. They can throw the signs up in front of you and you wouldn't even notice it. Let alone, even if you did, you don't know what it means if you're not truly in it all the way. You know what I'm saying? And so the guy that they brought on especially for the Melly case, I knew it was going to be mistrial in because I'm like, homie, when they cross-examined him, homie could not answer. He's like, well, I assume I don't know. Like, I'm not a real gang member. And I'm like, trust me, dog. When you get around the big gang members, they're going to smell you out like that. Let me put it this way. He can never, ever, just like you can never, ever learn the street Spanish unless you're fully in it. And if you're fully in it, you're most likely not going to make it out. And I'm wording this nicely for YouTube. Same thing with the gang-related stuff. If we compare it to the thug and them stuff like that, usually you can't, like with gang stuff like that, you can't just leave the gang system fully all the way. You're always going to be somewhat attached where they won't let you leave, especially if you have a great bit of knowledge and know way more than what you're supposed to know. You're going to have to pretty much live by it and, go that route. So yeah, they're not gonna crack. Those people are brain are designed not to crack. They can throw up the gang signs, and we seen the one guy that pulled up there. He either played dumb or he truly just wasn't the person they thought he was. You pick your poison. And the guy that got up on trial now for the Young Thug case, he's admitted that he's lied. He lies all the time. So is this stuff really credible? And I'll just leave it at that. I'm not judging. I'm not talking the Young Thug case today. But, I say all that to say, we're going to bring it back full circle to Rose, which is short for Rick Ross. I think that's his nickname as well. And the original Rick Ross have had long time running dispute over the rapper's use of his name. To be honest, I almost used the word divorce when I saw the D word, but it says dispute. But I was thinking divorce. I don't know why. I don't know why my mind was thinking that. It says back in 2010, the former drug kingpin filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against the MMG mogul, claiming Ross used his name and likeness to further his music career. The rapper later responded to the lawsuit by saying, "We just gonna let the people deal with it. It's like owning a restaurant. You're gonna have a few slip and falls. You get lawsuits, you deal with them and get them out your way. Sometimes you lose." So Ross was prepared to whatever. So probably I think that was why he started calling himself like Rose, just in case if he did have to change the name. He was already working on building up that other moniker, if I had to guess. You know what I'm saying? Ross, like him or hate him, the guy definitely is a good businessman, Same with Diddy. And I'm going to stay off that tonight, too. Says the trial over the dispute eventually got underway in 2013 with the court ruling that Ross could continue using the name as his rap moniker. Okay, there you go right there. So Ross had won that case. Says Ross, accused of lying about being a correctional officer, passed. He said he only did 4 months. So apparently he was only a correctional officer for 4 months, according to him. Says the judge did highlight that the influence that the real Ross in his life had over Rose through saying, "We recognize that Robert's work, his music, and persona as a rap musician relies to some extent to the plaintiff's name and persona. Robert's chosen to use the name Rick Ross. He raps about trafficking in cocaine and brags about his wealth. These were raw materials from which Robert's music career was synthesized." So it says, but these are not the very sum and substance of Robert's work. The ruling added that Roberts created a celebrity identity using the name Rick Ross of a cocaine kingpin turned rapper. He was not simply an imposter seeking to profit solely off the name and reputation of Rick Ross. So there you have it. So he may have started out just to do that as a moniker, but I mean, to be honest, with all his business ventures, and he didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can see both sides. Because to be honest, I would have probably said, yeah, you got to change your name. But then again, it's like, you necessarily don't. And I see it like this. Look, it's like, I guarantee you, I know for a fact, there's more than one person named Jeremy. You know what I'm saying? There could be a person out there that get just as many tattoos as I am, grow their hair out. Should I try to go sue them like, hey, man, you're trying to be exactly like me? But I know there's a gray area. It'd be one thing if you see him just copying every single thing you do, right down to like, okay, cool, he got a YouTube channel. I'm going to talk a YouTube channel just like him. Whatever he puts out, make the same exact. That's different. But as far as I know, Freeway, Ricky Ross, I don't think he's did a song. So, I mean, that's probably the gray area where it lies, too, if we're going to keep it 100. A lot of ways you can look at it if we're going to keep it 100. There's definitely a lot of ways you can look at that. Let me read through the rest of this article. Then we'll transition to the one where apparently he owes him $1 million. Says, rather he made music out of fictional tales of dealing drugs and other exploits, some of which related to the plaintiff using the name and certain details of infamous criminals' life as a basic elements. He created original artistic work. So that's what I'm saying. No disrespect to Freeway or anything like that, bro. But homie clearly didn't. He don't make music. You know, you don't do what he. It's two different things. You were a drug dealer. To the best of my knowledge, if Rick Ross, the rapper, was a drug dealer, we don't know. But he, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's on that. He does music. Yeah, it's just, I can see where they're like, it's ultimately two different things. Not to defend anybody, but is Rick Ross ducking the real Rick Ross? Is, I guess, the question at hand. I don't know. Maybe soon. I don't see why he, maybe so, but I don't see why he would have to. You know what I mean? Like, why? I mean, especially now at this point, I wouldn't, it's my thing. If Ross is, Rick Ross, the rapper, is having these, what are those car shows at his house, I'm assuming he has some form of security there somehow. You know, so why would he duck if he has, like, security? Even if he was to pull up to talk, like, homie, get out of hand. Okay, cool, you can talk to me, security guard right here. Boom. Trust me, you might as well be talking to him because you know if you get out of line. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure there's a nice age difference between the two, you know? But at the same time, that don't mean, you never know who can get the best of you, especially if you get caught off guard. I don't care how tough you are. If somebody sucker punch you and get a good shot, you never know. We've seen that happen time and time again where people just pull up and just knock you out. Word to LL Cool J. But let me read through this article real quick. Says Freeway Ricky Ross reveals he allegedly owes Rick Ross $1 million. How in the heck does the Freeway Ricky owe Rick Ross $1 million? And this article is actually this year, June 14, 2024. So this is my thing. If he owes the rapper Rick Ross money, you don't think, I'll be damned if I'm trying to duck you. I want to see you as much as possible because I need my payment, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether Ross truly, quote unquote, needs it or not. But we'll see. It says, Fayetteville, Georgia, June 1st, rapper Rick Ross, William Roberts at the Promised Land for the 3rd annual Rick Ross Car and Amp Bike Show on June 1st, Fayetteville, Georgia. Yeah, so I said he just had a show there. So I mean, like he's got to have security around him. Like I'm assuming these guys that are super close to him, like there's got to be some form of him like that's literally just undercover security. I would hope. But again, hey, who am I? But let me read through the rest of this article real quick. It says, Freeway, Rick Ross, and hip-hop counterpart had a legal battle over the decade ago due to the rapper's name, and it might not be over. Freeway, Ricky Ross' recent appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience contained a lot of information reflective and also salacious moments. It says, especially as it relates to hip-hop counterpart and name only. Moreover, he spoke on the legal battle that ensued between him and Rick Ross over the rapper using his namesake as his stage moniker, which went down a bit over a decade between 2012 and 2013. Says the former drug lord, the former drug kingpin also claimed that the Maybach Music Group disappears whenever he's around, as if he's actively ducking smoke. Regardless of what's going on currently or what was avoided in the past, Freeway Rick Ross had some interesting reflection on what did happen between them in court. I'm just curious how he owes him $1 million. So I'm assuming since he lost, did Ross say I want like a certain bag? I'm very curious. That's why I'm reading through this when it says he was a correctional officer, but when he got some money, they all forgot about it. Freeway Rick Ross said that Rick Ross' trajectory, you got gangsters doing records, people who also say they hate snitches doing records with a police officer. Anytime around disappears. Previously during an all hip hop interview, Freeway claimed that Rose actually went to visit him in prison to ask for his blessing to use his name and used it anyway when the Texas native denied him. So apparently he went to ask him and he tried to support him and he wasn't really with it. So let's read through the rest of why he owes him $1 million. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he tried to ask for his permission, which, I mean, to be honest, he did it anyway. So I guess it's like, I have a feeling he was probably already rapping, and when he went to go visit him in prison, he just wanted to say, like, you know, Rick Ross, to be honest, man, I feel like had dude came out and played ball, he probably would have threw him a bag for, like, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, make sure he was straight, but he took a different route. As he has his right to do so. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and bash him and say how, I can't tell nobody how to feel. It says, as such, as a result of all, Freeway Ricky Ross sued Rick Ross for $10 million, but lost, giving his criminal history a background that also prevented him from trademarking his name. I owe them $1 million, Freeway said of the Champagne Moments, MC's legal team. Oh, so I guess that's what it took for Ross to sue to win. That's what the legal team want, and Ross had paid them, but hell, it's $1 million out in the hole where whatever Ross paid, they want that too. Says, got $1 million judgment against me because I had to pay their legal fees. See, there you go right there. That's another thing that could happen in court. That's why I don't really like the legal system, man. You sue somebody and they have a right to an attorney, you do too, but if you lose, the judge could rule in their favor, like, yeah, you got to pay. I've been in a situation where somebody wanted me to, thank God I did not have to. But hell, as much as I spend in attorney fees, hell, it definitely felt like it. It says, how would you take my name and not have the decency to ask me, but you just said he asked for your blessing. So, I mean, you're contradicting yourself. When you asked, you said no, but clearly he did come and ask because you said he came and visited you in prison from what I read in the article earlier, my trip. Says, he won't even admit that he stole the name. He added elsewhere on the Joe Rogan Experience. He says, meanwhile, we know that Rick Ross does avoid smoke from time to time, such as lyrical smoke from the game. That game diss was okay. But I mean, why waste your time? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's what Ross look at is like, you didn't really go in. So it's like, whatever, I'm not entertaining it. And to be honest, I'm a Game fan, the rapper Game fan, but he is known for his beefs and doing great diss songs, but he also reaches for them too. Like, I feel like the Meek Mill joint could have came out of nowhere, but I mean, he explained why he did it, but I mean, at the same time, it's like whoever Drake got beef with, he low-key be having random beef with him too. If I had, from the outside looking in, don't quote me, but that's how I feel from the outside looking in. It says the LA rapper launched her Freeway Revenge diss against the biggest boss, which seems even more of an point title with this recent Joe Rogan interview in mind, but seems happy that his car show, seems happy with his car show, his hits, and his social media trolling. So we'll see if there's ever a change. We'll also see if Freeway ever really gets revenge when it comes to his name. Now, on the flip side, we have the actual Freeway, the rapper, which I would assume he got experience. Like, he got, how should I put this? He got inspired to get his rap name from Freeway, the king, the drug kingpin. You know what I'm saying? So, who knows? But why is he? But it says Freeway reveals Freeway Rick Ross blessed his rap name, unlike Rick Ross. Why? And this was an article from 2023, but I had to go down a rabbit hole when I get through. Had to see what this is. Why is Freeway, the rapper that was on Rockefeller, getting the pass, but Rick Ross isn't? So maybe this article can tell us that. Then we'll transition to Chrisean, and then we'll close out with Boosie Badass versus Young Bleu as scheduled. Moving right along at a nice, good pace, and I like that. So y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out for sure, man. Really means a lot to the kid. It says Freeway has explained former drug kingpin Freeway Rick Ross gave him his blessing to use his name, unlike a similar situation with the rapper Rick Ross. On the latest segment of the conversation with Vlad TV, of course, good old Vlad, Freeway reflected on his early rap beginnings, revealing that he picked up the microphone at around 6 years old and would get paid in quarters to do many performances. When it came time for him to create a rap name, a magazine article of the former drug trafficker inspired him. So he admits that he gets his name from him. It says, after I read the Freeway story, and I wasn't nowhere near as big as Freeway was, but we was living similar lifestyles. Okay, said Freeway. So I damn, this would be a dope rap name, so I took it on. So, this is what Freeway said during the Vlad interview. Definitely not playing that because Vlad definitely don't like his content used at all. Let's see. Freeway went on to explain that he's good friends with the drug kingpin and saw a lot of similarities between them, which fueled their relationship. According to Freeway, their friendship was so deep that Ross gave the rapper his blessing to use his name. When he was in jail, I reached out to him, Freeway said. I wrote him a letter and let him know how I was carrying it, made sure it was cool with him before I even started going crazy with it, and he respected it. When he came home, we got together, and it was all love. Okay, so what is Rick Ross doing wrong that Freeway didn't do? What did Freeway do right that Rick Ross didn't do right? Freeway Rick Ross is best known for the drug empire he established in Los Angeles, California in the early mid 1980s. He's got his nickname from all the properties along Los Angeles Interstate 1110, also known as the Harbor Freeway, that he owned. Okay, wow. Sweet, did not know that. So I was wondering how he got the name Freeway. He says, after height of his drug career, Ross was selling mimic tons of cocaine, and his gross revenue was estimated to be more than $900 million in profits of almost $300 million at the time. Sheesh. So he was definitely getting a lot of money. Says he received life in prison under the three-strike law in 1996, but his sentence was shortened on appeal, and Ross was released in 2009. The former Kingpin story sounds straight out of a movie, and many rappers have used it as inspiration. You know what? They did the Frank Lucas story, right? Remember, what was it? American Gangster? We should get the Freeway story. And I'm talking about official Hollywood version, how they did the Frank Lucas story, the American Gangster, where we got the actually good support, get that man a bag or a percentage off his story. I think it would be dope. I watched the documentary versions of it a little bit, but it would still to be nice to see a movie story. Or who could take it on? Since he hate Ross so much, and he's pretty much building up his own studios down in Louisiana, 50. You know, he's done all these other stories where, you know, we get the TV series where we get an episode every week. I think he should get in talks with the Freeway joint and see if he can really do something and have the writers get to work with it over there. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be dope. Why not? And at 50, if I do see that come out, I want my credit, bro. Marking the date, June 17th at 7:36 p.m. I said it first. I would have to file a copyright infringement, but I really can't because, I mean, I would, you know what I'm saying? I would have to reach out to Freeway, Rick Ross, and get it all started, and I'm pretty sure he don't even know who the hell I am. Probably be like, hell no. But I know he knows who 50 is, you know, or at least have an idea. I would think that. Let's see. The former Kingpin sounds like straight out of Mooney. As we read that part, it says, one of the most famous cases of inspiration was Maybach Music Group boss Rick Ross adopting his government name. In June 2010, Ross sued the rapper for using his name without permission and filed a copyright infringement lawsuit seeking $10 million in compensation. 3 years after the case was dropped and refiled in the state of California, Ross went to court with the rapper, but it didn't turn out well for him. The court ruled in favor of MMG Boss and allowed him to keep the name based on the First Amendment ruling. So pretty much there you go right there. So Ross won that on the First Amendment ruling. And just for the record, I'm going to look up what the First Amendment is. Let me share my screen. Boom. Because, you know, y'all like to say I'm borderline like an attorney anyway, but I just want to get the exact definition of why this really falls in so I can get my interpretation of this, and then we'll transition on to Chrisean Rock story and then close out with Boosie. But let's just go over the First Amendment real quick just for shits and giggles. Boom, here we go right here. Says Congress shall make no law respecting an establish of the region or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech. So basically it says he has the freedom of speech, I'm assuming that, or freedom of press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. So I'm assuming you have the right to protest is what that is in so many words. So freedom of speech, and you have the right to exercise it in any way you see, shape, or form. You know, think that hopefully Ross rapped close enough to the guy's lifestyle where maybe it would be, they wouldn't want to trial that on. Says the First Amendment to the United States Constitution prevents the government from making laws respecting and establishing of religion, prohibiting the free exercise of religion. And yeah, freedom of speech is definitely one of those. So I think it's definitely got a lot of those. First Amendment, simple terms. Says provide Congress to make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prevent a freedom of exercise. It prohibits freedom of speech, the press assembly, and the right of petition. So we read that, yeah. There you go. And I think there's actually is 5 of them, yeah. So freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, and freedom of petition. So that's the 5 ones right there. Kind of took me back to social study days back in like middle school, dog. But that's why I had to look it up because I wasn't sure, dog. But anyway, let's go ahead and transition to this Chrisean Rock joint. So I think I'm going to start here because this one is from June the 11th because she's been arrested. Let's see, Chrisean Rock arrested over fugitive warrant at Blueface court hearing. So she's been supportive with Bleu through his whole situation. And I did see the Blad interview where Blueface's manager, and we're talking Whack 100, which is also the game's manager to the best of my knowledge, he was telling her not to show up because there was warrants out. She knew there was warrants, but I think she thought also, because I seen where she said she had been paying back all the stuff that she's supposed to pay back. I thought she probably thinks that she was handling business the correct way so she can move how she want to move. But also, some tells me to the like where she probably just truly did not care, you know? And I'll just leave it at that. Let me read through this article real quick, and then we'll see what's going on, get an update on this. And then for like the last like 10 minutes, we'll talk on Boosie Badass and Mr. Young Bluemas, a.k.a. Young Bleu. I just called him that for fun. Let's see. Chrisean Rock has been arrested over a felony fugitive warrant relating to drug charges after she attended Blueface's court hearing with their child. The rapper / reality star was arrested on Monday, June 10th, shortly after arriving at the courthouse in San Fernandino Valley, California, where, according to TMZ, several officers were waiting for her. So pretty much they already knew she was gonna be there. They've been watching her every move. It says in the clip, she says, "They say I got a whole other case caught up in a effing downtown. I don't even be downtown. It's cool. I got my peoples looking into it." I'm assuming she means a lawyer, hopefully, but again, don't quote me on that. It says Chrisean went to Blueface's court hearing knowing she had active warrants and ended up getting arrested. Let me see if I can even just play this real quick. Hopefully not too much of a flag.
Excuse me, sir, what are you guys arresting her for?
A whole other charge.
A warrant out for what?
Sorry?
A warrant for what, sir?
There's a warrant for arrest, sir. Yeah, you can. You gonna record me the whole way?
The whole way, beautiful.
Why?
This homie has no life. That was the best thing. You're gonna record me the whole way. Like, man, she really hold Blueface down, bro. I mean, but his baby mama hold him down too, though. I mean, I don't know. There is something not right all the way. And I respect Whack 100 on the Blab interviews when he talks about her. He says what he has to say, but he's not disrespectful. But you get what he's saying each and every time, though. Like, I ain't trying to be mean, but you get what where he alleges. Says, TMZ say Chrisean and Blueface child was taken away by police and Rock was subsequently booked on the felony fugitive warrant out of Oklahoma. So I remember she did steal, like, I think Blue's vehicle, and they had reported stolen because I don't think they knew she did it at the time, and I think she did have to go like get locked up for that too. Don't quote me though. It says she is wanted in a state on several drug charges. Okay, never mind. It's not about the car. Including possessions of marijuana with the intent to dispute and possession of a controlled dangerous substance. Rock has also been charged with assault with a deadly weapon, but it is not known if that is related to the drug case. She is currently being held without bail. And that's another thing. Let me clarify that too. I had certain people who never been in no legal trouble. Like, I used to talk about certain individuals in my family. I'm like, we can't go get them. It ain't no bail. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand that. You don't always be granted bail. 9 times out of 10, you should, but depending on the case or the situation that they know you just violated, especially if you violated probation and already had one, you may not get one. And if you get sentenced to prison, you can't be bought. Like, you can, but I mean, like, the average person not finna be bought out of prison. I'm not saying it don't happen, but I mean, if you get sentenced to prison, you got to do the time and just kind of wait it out. But a lot of people don't understand. I think there also is this confusion between prison and jail. Prison, jail. Prison, you're going to be there for a while, which jail, you could be there for a while. I can see where the confusion to get in there, but jail is supposed to be a temporary, like, hold, and you're usually supposed to get a bail, and then, you know what I'm saying? But you could be there and then sentenced to prison. It just depends. It really just depends. But jail is the first place, and then prison is usually the final say-so, even if you just get a few months in prison. Or some people, if they know you're getting, like, say the trial's going on for 2 years and you plead guilty for, like, and you get time served, you may not get sent to prison at all. You get out, or if they know you're only going to be there for like a few months, then, you may just let you serve it there in jail. Now, with Wine and Felucci case, I see that they actually sent him to prison and they had to shave his head, I think they usually do that when you get there. But it's crazy because I seen some people still get to keep their hair, because Fetty got to keep his hair, So I'm very curious. And it varies from state to state, I guess. I don't want to find out the hard way to keep it 100. I really don't. But let me read through the rest of this article real quick, and then we'll transition on to Boosie Badass and them in like 5 minutes. Pause. Says the 24-year-old has previously addressed the outstanding warrant but refused to turn herself in, saying she did not want to spend time away from her child. Understandable, but you also, if you turn yourself in, usually, and I noticed the gray area because Melly turned himself in and he never came home. But you can, possibly they can make work with you. But I would assume you need to turn yourself in with your attorney and let them do the talking. So I've seen that done too, where we had situations here happen locally where homie turned himself in with his attorney, and honestly, homie should be coming home in like, I think probably sometime next year, hopefully. It says, I've been paying off fees and getting rid of ish. This is Chrisean talking, I'm assuming, allegedly. Says, taken to certain people to help my situation out. She said on Instagram Live in March, I had my son. The old me would have just turned myself in and dealt with it inside through the outside of the jail. Whatever, right now I gotta play it cautious because I don't plan on being in jail while my son is growing. So yeah, to be honest though, she had like, with the exception of, I think what really triggers her to get on that level to really be out there like that is probably Blueface. You know, and to be honest, their relationship is borderline like toxic to me. You know, and then if you think where he got his other baby mama, dang, what is her name? Jaden or something like that. I can't think of her name right. I know it starts with a J. She sticks by his side too. So I mean, he obviously got a good relationship with both. So obviously he's saying something to these ladies that really got them like, you know, supporting them. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with him being able to see his kids either, man. So that's very important. So I'm glad that at least that's happening and they know of that. Let's see. While Chrisean is headed up to jail, Blueface is getting closer to regaining his freedom with his release currently scheduled for July 2nd. So, I mean, if everything go right, he should be able to make it home for the 4th of July barbecue, bro. It says, by the time of his release, the controversial rapper will have served 7 months behind bars over a probation violation for which he turned himself in earlier this year. So there you go. It says, Blueface mother, Chrisella Stafford, or Saffold, blame Chrisean Rock and her son's other baby mother, Jaden Alexis. There you go, right there. Remember, I was struggling for the name. Bye, y'all. Got it. For the violations. Why is she blaming them? She said in an Instagram story, Jaden got him one charge. Rock got him the one that violated the other. That's why it's so quiet. Praying everyone understands now why I didn't want them together. Because parents want what's best for their children. I love them all, but not together. Praying for everyone to listen to their parents. His mama always got something to say. You know, and I get it, that's her child, but bro, like, it seems like she always has something to say, bro. All right, so we're not going to read through the article because we kind of just covered it, but Chrisean Rock shouldn't be in jail. Blueface mother, Calissa Staffold insists. Which, I mean, yeah, I don't think she should be doing, you know, give her a bail, bro. Clearly, even if you got an ankle monitor her, you know what I'm saying, I think that's an option. But keep in mind, when you do all these little other options, stuff like that, people need to understand that, one, bail's not cheap. And when you get bail with the ankle monitor, I guarantee you that's more. Because that ankle monitor, they ain't going to just give it to you for free because the judge say so. They going to give it to it, but it's going to be a price that come with it. Usually when you see those type of bails, that's when you hear that crazy number where it's like they got on X amount of $1,000 bail. You know? And yes, usually you only have to pay 10% of it. So like if you get a $50,000 bail, usually you can get away with $5,000. Still a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? If you see somebody get $5,000 bond, that means they usually can get out with $500. We've had that happen as well in my family, ironically. The reason I know that little percentage, sometimes if it's really, really, really bad, we can think of the Bobby Shmurda situation. Remember, he had been granted a bond of like $1 million, right? But they didn't want to do the 10% because the 10% that would have been like what, 100,000, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't want 100,000. They're like, nah, we need the whole. If you're gonna make bond, we need the whole milli up front. No, we don't want no. And sometimes you can put your property up. They don't want no collateral. They want $1 million cash. And Bobby them say, you know, keep in mind they had attorneys and stuff like that too. So I'm assuming he had $1 million cash at one point. When you getting locked up and you didn't get bail, so he can't make the money on his tours and his shows and stuff like that. And You know, we've already said like the record label, you're gonna get a percentage of your sales of your records, but not much. And even if it is, say like it is like 10,000, you need more than that, bruh. And that's usually like once a year. And some people don't even see that. It just depends on what type of deal they sign at the end of the day. But let me read through this article real quick, and then we'll transition to Boosie's badass situation about Young Bleu here for the last 10 minutes. It says, according to, and I'm going to just say Blueface Mama, the arrest was a bit much. It's no secret that Blueface Mother and Chrisean Rock have had their fair share of differences in the past. Despite this, it looks like Stanfold is making an effort to be cordial with Baddie Star, particularly following her recent arrest. For those who don't recall, Chrisean was taken into custody at Blueface court hearing last week and is in court being held without bail. Luckily, she not expected to be behind bars long. Nonetheless, her fans, loved ones have been calling for immediate release on social media ever since. I think she's gonna get one. They just gotta figure like what the proper payment, I'm assuming, is gonna be. TMZ, and I know sometimes like if you get locked up over the weekend, they may not get an instant bail. Sometimes you gotta wait to see the judge, and I'm assuming she just gotta wait to see the judge, and that could be hell. They got time to squeeze you in on Monday or 2 weeks from Monday. It could, you know what I'm saying? It could happen, but you gotta really, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy. TMZ recently caught up with Stanfold to hear her take on the debacle, and according to her, whoever orchestrated the arrest did Chrisean dirty. I absolutely did not know it was going to happen. She told the outlet, I feel like it was bad timing. I feel like whoever made that happen or had anything to do with it was absolutely, that wasn't the time. She had her kid and she was there supporting my son. So I don't agree with it, even though I'm not a fan and we have our differences. I think that was a bit much. And I mean, I can see that and I agree. Stafford went to answer a few questions about Blueface and Chrisean's son, Chrisean Jr. One heck of a name, by the way. And I'm not making fun of it, but it's crazy to hear like a female naming a junior. And I'm not saying it don't happen. So it's obviously, you know, I mean, you got to give the child a name. Says revealing that she would have preferred to care for him amid his parents' legal issues regarding. She honored Chrisean's wishes by allowing her close friend Marsha to take him. She arrived just in time before we went into court and walked out, she explained. So, yeah, her best friend Marsh really been holding her down from what I see. I'm assuming if she didn't have March, then I'm assuming Blueface mom would have had to take the child by default, you know? Because, I mean, it really goes, if you can't appoint somebody, usually it goes to the next of kin family member. Fun fact as well. You know what I'm saying? Usually go to the next of kin. If something happens to you and you're a minor and this baby is definitely it's still a baby. You know what I'm saying? This baby is fresh. It has to go to somebody. In fact, I've known of some people where this has happened to. And you can always go to court and get them back, but it's never easy or fun. If one person say like I've seen it where the one person say and they were right. I hate to say it, but one person was saying something about this person. And they were like, you just ain't fit, you know, but they end up getting the child anyway. Then they end up getting it back because they got themselves caught up. Similar to this situation. So this is real life stuff happening, man. And I ain't going to tell who that person is. Long time ago, though. Put it like this. And I was just from the outside looking in. Says Stanfold says she wishes she had the opportunity to hear who Blueface's thought should care for the child and for a judge to have overseen the conversation. What do you think of Blueface's mother claiming that Chrisean Rock doesn't belong in jail despite their differences? Are you surprised? No, because I mean I don't think she wants nothing bad to happen. Because at the end of the day, they're still family. You know what I'm saying? They're somewhat attached now, connected, whether they like it or not. So let's transition on the last part of this for the last 5 minutes. Boosie Badass attacks Young Bleu's son over his autism, which I feel like that was low. But at the same time, these guys, I'm going to say this, man. Both of y'all, like, let it go. Boosie, I get it. You want your money. And then Bleu, I get it. You feel like you don't owe him nothing. Play it out in the courts. Leave it off the social media thing. Because what I'm assuming is, right, that I'm not saying Boosie them won't go to court and eventually catch that W, but it's going to take, like, look at Raw's situation. The dude filed the shit in 2010 and wasn't over until 2013. So the court system is not necessarily the fastest route. But who's to say it won't happen? Now, I was saying earlier when I was starting the live, Young Bleu, I'll forever check out his music. Even though I know his numbers not or once what they once was, I still consider him a great artist and very talented. I think, and I'm not saying he don't do this, but he could obviously get his bag on writing for a lot of artists as well, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? He could easily go that route and make that money behind the scenes, like low key, in my opinion. But I say all that to say, this person I used to talk to like a long time ago really put me on a Young Bleu. And to be honest, it's almost kind of annoying, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, long story short, I got introduced to him to somebody I used to talk to a long time ago. Like before, before the level he decided to see that rise, like I still remember his first song that he put out. And to keep it 100, when I first listened to him, like this is about to be the only thing he ever put out. But I was wrong. He, a man has dropped a lot of great music, you know? And I get it, but I mean, everybody goes to that like dry spell. And to keep it 100, musically in general across the board, unless you're just like on a level of like Drake or something or Kanye, no disrespect, everybody else numbers seem not on the level of once they once was. Like, I mean, Gunna's still doing his thing low key, but at the same time, I know his numbers could be double that if everything was great with Thug. You know, and not saying it's not, but I'm just saying, musically everything is kind of like low key numbers wise. You don't see these guys out here flossing as hard as they used to, you know? And the economy is just effed up here. I'm gonna say as Boosie Badass has viciously attacked Young Bleu over his autism. So let's see, Boosie and his former artist Bleu fell out following his departure from his label, with the two unable to settle a contractual dispute. So I mean, if it's the thing, if you sign the contract, somebody gotta get the money. Like Future had to pay Rocco, and Rocco won. You know, they settled for an undisclosed amount. I think what Rocco wanted, he probably got like $2 to $3 million less, but I mean, he still came out on top. I'm gonna say this: it's always cheaper to settle too, because you still got to pay an attorneys, and I'm pretty sure Rocco still had to get an attorney, and they want to. If you can't pay the attorney and they work pro bono and they win, they gonna want a percentage of that money for payment. That's just how the game go. But Boosie has taken their beef to another level, mocking Young Bleu's son, who has been diagnosed with. That's not cool, bro. I feel like kids should be off limit. Says in social media rant, the controversial Baton Rouge rapper said, N-word N-word, don't get mad because you ain't getting booked every weekend across the country like your CeeLo or like your CEO. LOL, do you even have shows? You stopped tour because you couldn't sell out theaters. LOL, or did I stop tour? Now you mad because nobody wants to hear your music anymore. He added, they want you to pay up and do what's right. You miserable. You don't know if you want to be a rapper, R&B, country, or rock and roll artist. So he's saying he does too. Young Bleu definitely got a lot of styles, but I mean, if you're good at all of them, why not? Boosie then explicitly went after Young Bleu's son on his autism. You stole my money and went and put it down on your first home. He wrote, you're squatting, so we come and move in next week. Since you squatting in our ish, you want to bring up kids, really? So I'm assuming somebody brought up kids. Maybe my kids can come over and help your. Oh wow! So I'm assuming Young Bleu probably took a shot at his kids first, and he called his son. Oh, I'm not gonna read that. Count one. Oh, I'm not gonna read that. Or wipe all them damn slobs up off the floor, but y'all fall down and hurt yourself. Chill, man. So that was the tweet that we seen Boosie tweeted out. Young Bleu opened up about his son having autism on live, on Live Forever, according to the Friday that appeared on Jeremy's album in April. So yeah, it says my eyes got watery, my youngest son got so I don't even want to do like that, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I do have family members that had that as well, man. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means like whatever they focus on, they're truly deeply focused is what I got from it, man. Boosie Badass has previously criticized people for making money off his issues with Young Bleu. Bleu Vandross can have hella at Empire, and y'all get together and pay me my money and get this over with. He wrote, they want us to keep having to go to court, my N-word. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to draw him out. And then, like I said, if Boosie got him to a contract, he going to have to pay. I ain't going to say necessarily. He going to have to pay something. Somebody going to have to pay. This ain't free. It says they put, and I think Boosie just wants his money and be done with it, because it's not free for him to keep paying them attorneys to do that too. And that's the one thing that's downside of trying to be like, have your own record label, and that's why you see so many of them fail. Because from what I've seen, they're like, yo, for every one artist that we sign and does great, you know, you got 2 or 3 that's, you know, you got to pay to take care of them. You know, like a lot of people say it's almost not worth it. You know, we've seen that time and time again. It says they putting you deeper in the hole by paying for your attorney fees. Why they don't want to pay your tab and get this negativity off you? This is why, because they make more money with us beefing, my N-word. Young Bleu signed the Badass Music Significant in 2016 and released a string of projects on the label, but departed in 2019 after Boosie allowed him to sign elsewhere. Bleu signed a distribution deal with Empire for his Vandross Music Group label in 2020. So apparently, Boosie didn't release him like it say it do, man. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Let me put myself back up on the main screen real quick. Boom. Been on this joint for like an hour. We're finna get ready to wrap things up. Definitely was a good transition, smooth live. So I say all that to say, man, Bleu and Boosie, figure it out, man. If it's a money thing, find a happy medium and call it a freaking day. Because right now, who's winning is the attorneys. Whether Bleu record label is paying for it and he's got to pay back in the long run, like Boosie said, you don't want to be in the hole. Boosie probably don't want to keep paying his attorneys. And then as far as for the Rick Ross and Freeway situation, I don't know if he's truly ducking him or not, but I mean, like, maybe it's kind of one of those, like, he tried to ask for your blessing from what I got from the article, and I could be wrong. You said no. He did what he had to do. Y'all went to court. Homie probably just don't want to pay you, give you no, you know what I'm saying? Not saying duck you, but it's like, now it's like, bro, I tried to do it the right way. You didn't want to do it, you know? And then Chrisean and Blueface, hopefully Blueface gets out on the time he's supposed to get out. I believe it said July 2nd. And hopefully Chrisean is eventually given bail so she can be back with her son. And hopefully they can all get together and figure out their whole everything. So I don't wish jail or prison time on nobody else, with the exception of depending on what the hell they did. But as far as like this stuff where it's petty stuff, maybe so. You know, but like the major serious crimes, maybe so. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to just leave it at that. But we're going to wrap things up here for tonight. Been on joint for like an hour and 2 minutes. Appreciate everybody for coming through and showing love. Y'all definitely smash the like button. Sub up to the channel if you're new. And if you haven't done so already, of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones. And what I normally do is make content about sneakers, occasional trial hauls. And y'all know this is Music Monday. Should be back again Wednesday with another Sold Out Live, another Sold Out podcast. But until then, y'all smash that like button and sub up to the channel. And yeah, man, I am officially out this thing, man. Peace.
My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. remember. My heart is cold like December. Hoping my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all them out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can touch the sky. If I die, let I know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry, oh why? Oh, I'ma cry, oh why? I'ma cry, oh why? I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all them out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can touch the sky. If I die, let I know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry, oh why? Oh, I'ma cry, oh why? I'ma cry, oh why? I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart